Oh, hello, grasshoppers. Welcome. My name is RJ Redden. If you don't know me, what are you doing here? But no, if you don't know me, entrepreneurs hire me to skyrocket their marketing message because most are shouting into a black hole, or they can't get any traction online, or they just sound like everybody else. So I create epic chatbot experiences that get people to click that button, connect with you, and convert like crazy. So today I have guests. I have people with me. These are the fabulous, the wonderful, the amazing. I can't go on enough about them. This is my J.M. Powers, whom many of you know, and our Denise Romano, which everybody should know if you don't know them. Today we're going to talk about we're going to take a break and talk about something serious. It's going to be okay. Buckle in. We've still got you. But these ladies have a great message to share about all of the panic and stuff that's going around about the coronavirus and some different ways to handle that according to, your personality and stuff. You guys, take it away. I'm ready.
In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. Do you know that? That is what Einstein says. And do you know something else interesting about Einstein? Do you know that in his divorce, he offered his wife his Nobel Peace Prize? Did you know that?
I didn't.
Wow. I find that extremely interesting. So here's the truth. In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. What we want to talk about today is how do you take advantage of opportunities when, for the love of God, all you see is panic. Denise, I wish you could share the lovely photos of the grocery store last night. It was...
I'm not sure how to.
It looked like the world Mad Max.
It was crazy.
I'll get them.
Okay.
So here's what we're going to do today. Some of you already know. And do we have people viewing? Like, look at Carol. I think Carol's always the first one on here with us. I think Carol is always the first one on. So here's what I want today. It's going to be a different experience. Now, many of you know entrepreneurs hire me to speak with confidence and sell with authority because most are boring, confusing, and inconsistent. And if I had a fancy camera switching here and there, that would have been so powerful. So I help them connect, capture, and close with their ideal audience. Bottom line, every time you open your mouth, you make money. Many of you may be opening your mouth today, and it is echoing into the empty highways, the empty grocery store, the empty shelves, the empty minds of some of the people we're dealing with these days. Nonetheless, I am not judging. Oh, there's our grocery store experience. Ouch. How come I'm echoing? That sounds awful.
I don't know why you're echoing.
It's okay. It's okay. So here's what I want you to understand. If it feels like you are in the grocery store and it's completely empty, the grocery store of your business, and it is completely empty, what I would love is for you to hang out with us right now, here and now. And I want to make sure that we have got people that are able to get in and able to hang out with us. So I'm going to see, RJ, get us up to date. How many people are hanging out with us now? Because, I see 15, but how the heck are we seeing their comments?
I'm seeing comments. Anybody that's attached to my page is making comments that are happening over here on the right-hand side.
That's what I hate about StreamYard. I'm in the dark because I'm not hosting, so I cannot see the comments.
Click on live comments off to the right instead of private chat, and you should see it.
So, hello there, Jane Powers, your special needs StreamYard. Yes. People. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I thought we were talking to just each other. And guys, I am so tired of talking to these two. So Diane, Misty's on. Everybody, Paul, Lori, Amber, thank you for being here and saving me from You know who I love when they show up and they say user. You guys sign in so we know who. I love that because I don't want to talk about you if we don't know your name is on there. Okay. I'm echoing RJ.
There we go. Now she's muted. Now she's maybe not echoing. Try it again.
Okay, I'm not echoing. Yes, I am. All right, so sorry, folks, if I am echoing, but just hang in there because here's what we're going to do. We are talking today. Now, many of you know that Denise and I created a system that is based on communication. It is called Core Communication. Denise actually founded Core Kids. I don't like kids, so I don't really care about the core of a kid. It doesn't matter. It's not that important to me. Okay, I'm just kidding. I do.
I wonder if I should rename it Core Teachers because it's for teachers. No, it's about the kids. So, okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's all about the kids. So, okay. So here's what we're going to do today. I'm going to give you a little bit of information around our core system. How did I create this system? I'm going to tell you exactly how it happened. So I have been doing professional speaking and sales simultaneously, not back to back because I would be 100, for over 30 years. I've done corporate sales training. I've been an executive. I have been speaking. I have been selling from stages, from any platform, on and offline. Now, people, don't let anybody trick you and say online is so different than offline. It's not. It is all the same thing. You just have to learn to look differently at the camera than you do your audience. So I'll teach you some tips around that. When this whole thing gets said and done, I will do some speaker training so you can get up to speed. All right, so here's what we're going to talk a little bit about today so you know to hang out. What we're going to do is I'm going to explain core communication. Here's what happened. After 30 years of selling and speaking, I ripped off every personality profile on the planet, crammed it into the science of Jane, and created a system that allows you to understand who you're communicating with. So I'm going to go through the system. Here is why we brought this up today. This is so exciting because each individual, based on their code, we're calling it a code because coding is looking for your people, looking for sameness. And many times what ends up happening is we're looking for sameness and we isolate individuals that may not be our same code. So I'm going to go through the coding system. I'm going to show you how each individual will deal with the COVID differently based on their code. And then we're going to have people inputting what they're doing, and then we're going to guess what your code is. So we're going to maybe give out prizes. I don't know. Denise, what do you think? A prize?
Sure.
A big.
And I'm wondering if when we do this, if we should do each other's codes.
You and I?
Uh-huh.
Oh, be nice. Be nice. For those of you who know, we are opposite codes.
We are.
And
commentary. We'll just add helpful commentary.
Helpful. Okay. So, do you want to explain the codes? Do you want me? What do you want to do?
No, you start. You go ahead and start.
Okay. All right. Oh, what happened to RJ? We wanted to talk about her. Oh, and she's RJ.
I'm fixing myself. I'm gonna drop down and fix myself. You go right ahead.
Because all we see is your whole screen. Okay, now let's talk about RJ again. Here's the truth. All right. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Core communication. CORE. Did I spell it right? Woo, yes. Okay. Core communication. The C stands for catalyst. The O stands for optimizer. I'm reading Lori's comment. R, relator, not realtor. We get a lot of people that will write it out and I'm like, that would be a realtor. I is a realtor, but you got to have relator. The E is expert. Okay, we've got catalyst, optimizer, relator, expert. Catalyst. for lack of a better description, they are your individuals that are ADD, ADHD, LMNOP, and everything else in between. They are action takers. There is no grass growing under any catalyst's feet. They do not sit still. They have an idea. They've implemented. We, Catalyst, love shortcuts, not following the rules, do not like time cards, do not like being held accountable, would never want an accountability coach, and loves really competition, gets sometimes stuck in comparanoia. For those of you who do not know what comparanoia is, that's saying, I'm smarter than them. Why are they more successful? Why are they doing better than I'm doing? And it is about comparanoia. Now, every code gets comparanoia except potentially experts. Experts do not need to compare themselves to anyone. Why? Why, Denise? Why don't experts compare themselves to anyone?
Because we already know it all.
We
know and plenty.
They're so brilliant.
They can't do it better than we can. Hello, experts.
So that'll give you a little bit about our lovely Denise's code. All right. So we've got the catalyst. You'll see a catalyst. They're sharply dressed, usually name brands. Doesn't matter if they get it at Ross, but they have name brands. Their cars really have to be either the top of the line or limited editions. They drive very much of the name brand vehicles, probably not a Hyundai or a, what are some of the, remember Saturn?
Yeah, it's not, I mean, not just the low, but it's your Lexus, it's your, Mercedes, your Beamers, it's your higher end vehicles.
Right, even if even if it's an SUV, it really has to be either an Infiniti, a Lexus, or top of the line Denali. Right. Not all of them, but if, I had the F-150 limited, and then one time I got a Tahoe, not the highest Z71, because I didn't like the clunky, like the carrier on the top. So I souped mine up so it looked really pimped out. So anyhow, we've got the catalyst. Catalyst is basically fire, ready, aim. RJ keeps tricking us. Fire, ready, aiming sometimes actually takes too long for a catalyst. All right, optimizers. Optimizers. If you are an optimizer, you love rules, tradition, systems, logic, project plans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You must have, it must make sense to you. It goes in a linear fashion, and individuals understand exactly what is the next step. They do not like the unknown. Optimizers love a budget. Absolutely love a budget. They are very loyal. If there is a crosswalk, they will stay in the lines of the crosswalk. What do you think a catalyst does? Wherever you can cross.
Crosswalk. And
what are speed limits? Merely suggestions for a catalyst. An optimizer, they will just do a little bit above or below. All right, relators. Oh, my relators. Look at my relators. What side am I on? X's and O's, hugs, high tide raises all boats. Let's all just get along. They're the ones in the aisle of the grocery store when they've got 2 toilet paper packages and someone needs one, they will give that to them. So they all come together, they care for each other, and they're very much about a cause, saving the planet, saving the world, saving each other. If you need something right away, you say, anybody have a pen? The first one's up, or I need a little bit of help here. The relator is on it. They're very caring, very generous. Very much earliest thing they do is give a discount when someone doesn't earn the discount. All right, so then we've got your experts. I love my experts. Love them or hate them. Experts.
It could be a combo of both.
I affectionately call our know-it-alls. they basically will reinvent the wheel. They are innovative. They are creators. They are inventors. They are very much they're very smart. Most of them will have higher degrees. Most of them will have more degrees than, just bachelors, for goodness sake. They usually have masters and doctorates, and they will let you know that. They like puzzles. They like brainiac things. A lot of them are nerds. They love high tech, everything. So, all right, Denise, I'm going to let you. So you got CORE. You've got what we need as far as the coding. Go ahead and however you'd like to describe the coding system. What would you like to add?
Okay, so, and here's where, if you know Jane and I, here's what's so much fun. Jane, first and foremost, very much a catalyst, but she is very much an optimizer. And once you get to know those codes, those are very contradictory. How in the world? It is a tug. It is a push and pull. It is a tug of war between things all the time, because she wants to go yesterday and today, things to be done. But whoa, wait a minute. If that's something specialized, okay, how much is that going to be? Was that going to fit into the budget? And it's just, yeah, okay. So I am a very high relator, and my expert is right up there too. So it's different. It's not as much of a struggle, because the more of the struggles for both relators and experts tend to be setting prices and sticking with it. Relators are so much about just caring and giving. My God, if I wasn't in this business with Jane, forget it. I could not have my own business. I would be doing it all for free all of the time, because I don't want to deal with money. That's the other thing, relators. We don't like to deal with money at all. Try being married to an optimizer. Oh my God. Okay. But RJ knows. But like catalysts, honest to goodness, they are sometimes, oftentimes, in all honesty, some of your best clients, because they literally are like, I don't care how damn much this costs. I know what I need. I don't have it. I need it now. Here's my card. Let's get going. Done. I need to get this going. And they tend to be, and not saying the other ones are not successful, that's not true, but catalysts, man, they are out there instantly. Literally, we had a client, or a couple of years ago, she worked with us for about a year and a half or so, who had high catalyst. She literally came in. She said, I know you've got me. She did every single thing that we said. And she told everybody else, just do what Jane says and you'll be fine. She went out and tripled her business. I mean, it was ridiculous. So, but the optimizers, a lot of, and actually for my teacher friends who are out here, a lot of teachers are optimizers and relators. Teachers I'm not anymore, but teachers are not in it for the money. They don't get appreciated enough. They're not in it for the money. They've got a lot of relator, but they tend to also have a lot of optimizer in them. A lot of color coding, a lot of sequence. That's the way their pattern, that's the way their thought process works. So you'll see that a lot in education. Experts, a lot of scientists and researchers and judges, that type of thing. It can be a little conflicting when you've got multiple codes going on, but it's also a lot of fun. And I'll real quick throw out, and again, for my teacher friends, sorry, I'm kind of singling them out. My core kids, what I have realized is after working in this system that originally was designed for sales, it's all communication. Everybody has these codes in them. They have these tendencies in them, including kids. I can look back on my own classrooms and I can see how much different it would have been had I had this knowledge before and how I could have reached the kids. So that's my little plug for my core kids.
All right, excellent. So here, look at someone on here. It's Facebook user is saying, so catalysts have money. Not all catalysts have money, but what catalysts do is they do have initiative, motivation, and absolute impatience. That's what I love about a catalyst. When I work with a catalyst, they want, like me, And if you haven't figured it out, I am a catalyst / optimizer, high relator, experts lower, because I quite frankly, degrees don't impress me. Education, I just went so that I could play basketball. Like it wasn't that important to me. Do I value learning? Yeah, only if it really applies to me. That's where I'm a little selfish. But catalysts don't always have the money, but I'm telling you, they are a bird dog. They will find a way. They will discover how they need to get out there to make the money. So they're the ones who, when you tell them to do something, they're out there doing it. Now, let's say Denise and RJ, who Denise and RJ tend to be our experts. If you didn't know RJ's code, for crying out loud, look behind her. RJ has what? Star Wars, Bob Ross, Yoda. She's very, look at her diplomas or whatever your degrees are up there. I think she just printed them and framed them.
No, they cost a lot of money.
And experts are proud of their college bills because they're like, it just shows how much education they have. I'm very excited to say I got a scholarship in basketball and paid off the rest of my college career already, people. You all were still probably paying. Okay, and you've been out of college for 40 years. So check Diane's note. I don't know how to, I want to look at that. So here's what, so RJ and Denise being experts love to create and innovate. And then they evaluate. And then they marinate. It seems that experts do a lot of 18, evaluating, creating, innovating, marinating, and again, marinating, and marinating again. And then they reevaluate what they've marinated, created, and innovated. And you're still waiting for them to get out there and go do something. So if you're an expert, you have a tendency to get ready, to then ready your readiness and reevaluate the readiness. And Denise is a high relator. So Denise is very much an expert. So think about the controversy of that. Think about being an expert and relator, cares about people, but knows it all. So how do you validate others? How do you validate others when you're a know-it-all, Denise? Isn't that a tough?
Well, no, because actually my relator keeps me more humble most of the time, and I don't know it all. So that's where that plays in. That's where it's interesting, because I have met experts who are 1000% expert, and oh my, do they think they know everything. That drives my expert crazy. It also drives my relator crazy. But so it's a little conflicting, but I think it's a good balance, honestly.
That is interesting. Mine is schizophrenia. It's because a catalyst, we don't want to wait for anything. We want to buy what we want to buy because we know it's right for us. And then optimizer says, well, hold on. We've got to make sure this is going to work within our budget. Now, what I've learned for myself as a catalyst optimizer is I can go 832 miles an hour while creating systems. So I've learned to adapt to my style, and it works for me. RJ, we know, RJ, you are expert optimizer, a lot of relator. RJ has a lot of relator, but first and foremost, RJ is what? Expert? Optimizer? How do you deal with that? How do you deal with that in the world, in reality, RJ?
Well, I think the schizophrenia diagnosis is probably correct. Yeah, it's different. I mean, it's different. It feels like the expert part of me is I only feel like I'm expert over certain areas, but don't even get face to face with me about those areas, because I will wait you out, and I will tell you, and I will tell you, and I will tell you until your eyes will roll back up into your head and you'll slide down the wall and just agree with me, because it's better. You're better off that way. Now, in the areas where I'm not an expert, I feel like I'm a relator. I just want to hug everyone. I want everyone to get along. Is everybody ready to go? I'm completely, I'm way over on that end. The optimizer part, I guess that's my systems thinking.
Yeah, that's your computer background.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, I'm thinking in, flow charts.
Grid. Yeah. You ask RJ a question. You ask RJ a question, and it's like she could quickly jot on a whiteboard this whole like system analysis, and you go, oh, I know exactly where we need to go.
Yeah.
Now me, it'll look like a squirrel crossing. And then when I slow down, and I've already sold 15 of these new ideas that everybody said we haven't even built yet, then I will draw out a very nice chart. Like, it's beautiful, but it's always after the fact because it seems like the optimizer believes that's necessary. So
does the expert.
Well, oh yes, of course. So here's what we want to talk about today. And Diane, look at Diane's like, guess me. She's already got the world rebuilt in a day. Like, she's already got everything done. Now, I would guess Diane had some optimizer in her because she's seeing the plan forward. So she's strategizing at the same time getting things done. So I see a lot of Diane. That would be me. It was funny. Denise went to the, I'm going to start calling it either, remember Mad Max? The world like totally came to an end. It was like Dungeness world. It was crazy. So she went to Mad Max grocery store last night. It was echoing everywhere because it was completely empty. And truly, when we're looking at how does one react when they go into a store like that? When does, she texted me and she sent a picture. I'm like, oh shit. That's not good. I thought maybe we'd be down a little bit on orange juice or, a few of the things, but no, it was shelf after shelf. And the minute I saw that picture, my mind went into action. She's like, hey, no tortillas. We live on tortillas at lunch. They're the perfect macros for our diet. They're everything we need. And immediately I went, no tortillas. Okay, that's okay. I got almond flour. I've got tapioca. Okay, I know exactly. I'm going to make, because I was paleo for a while, so I made my own tortillas, and they were quite tasty, and they're gluten-free, and I have all of the products. I am my mother's daughter. We build up a ton of groceries, and I went right into MacGyver mode. So catalysts tend to be MacGyver. Like, immediately we're like, okay.
Oh,
That's it. She MacGyvered herself out.
She did.
Now she's back in again.
Where'd you got that in?
I said the most profound thing when I was gone. Yeah, see, Diane, military. That's an optimizer, most definitely. But Diane, you're not sitting back waiting for someone to say, "Hey, put your system into play." You're like this. Got the system, you optimize it, then you put it into action. So let's talk about our own codes, because we've got an expert, Denise, with Relator, Catalyst Optimizer, RJ, your expert Relator Optimizer. Why do I keep saying the wrong damn code for you? Expert Relator Optimizer. Thank you. Catalyst for RJ. Where is it? And Denise, the two that are on here with me. Catalyst, non-existent, unless I'm putting a fire under their fanny. Okay. Yeah. Out of a 25.
9 out of 25.
Grade, at least I am 25, 23, 23, 18. Yeah. I'm still up. Okay. I'm going to share how I am dealing with the COVID as a catalyst. All right. As a catalyst. Now, let me give you a different, unique spin on this, because you can have your coding system, but what triggers can affect your coding system. So let me tell you what that looks like. For example, I grew up in a complicated family. Most of you know that. And it can trigger your innate internal fear. If you've lived through trauma, I talked about this yesterday. If you've lived through some trauma, it will start to replicate some of the same feelings of lack of control, powerlessness, no choice. When they said last night, our neighbor started ringing the, siren and said, well, rumor has it they're going to shut down all of Phoenix. And right away I went, oh, like hell they will. I will be the first one with a sign going down the middle, right towards the courthouse, gathering people to say, you cannot control us to that level. It's a bug. And I know some people are saying, Jane, it's dangerous. The hospitals will be full. This is my personal opinion. Please understand my personal opinion. And quite frankly, it's a bug. Let's all get it and keep the economy strong, because what's going to hurt us more is a bad economy, not a bug. You know what? If I get sneezes and coughs and a fever and diarrhea, all right, I'll be done with it. I'll be done. But when this economy hits the skids, that's going to be a whole lot more to wipe up. Did you see my pun? Did you see what I just did? That is a gross pun. I'd rather be wiping up the effects of
Oh dear.
all the other. So where was I? Okay. As a catalyst, remember, as a survivor of crap, it triggers that fear of loss of control. So it starts to affect. So if you have lived through something, I don't even care if it was you moved 30 times as a kid, that can be scarring. That can be hard on individuals. So if you have had some sort of trauma, some sort of anything that induces fear, it can make your process through this a little more challenging. But let's look just at the codes and just know, well, I'm not acting exactly like that. My guess is you're triggered. If you've got triggers, go into our website, Revealing the Missing Piece, PEACE, and we're doing different trainings in there. But nonetheless, as a catalyst, I am building complete solutions around this every day. I'm looking at, in my business, what can I do? In my real estate investing, what can I do? The stock market. I'm starting to strategize almost immediately. Almost immediately, I am starting to strategize what I need to do. And I've already put it into action. Woo! Sorry, I just hit a button on my screen just went crazy on me. And I am looking at solutions and moving into action. Now, my optimizer is planning for doomsday. My optimizer is looking at, okay, if we have X amount of dollars, turns it into a math problem, turns it into a inventory on the shelves. You know what I decided? And if anyone on here is a Mormon, I want to be your friend. You want to know why? They're the smartest people on the planet. They have pantries. You know this, right? I went and stayed in a home in, where was I? Utah. And it was right behind Paul Newman. I didn't get any dressing from him, but behind Paul Newman's place, it was about a 10 to 13,000 square foot cabin. Cabin. I think of a cabin like one room and it's, Lincoln, right? And he's like in his cabin. No, this thing was about 13,000 square feet. And do you know the size of their food pantry was about 1,500 square feet. That's as big as our little house in the historic district here. 1,500 square feet, stocked with food. They do have magic underwear. Somebody put that. I want magic underwear. If my underwear would make a difference in my life, I'll wear magic underwear. I am not too proud to do anything I will carry a rabbit's foot, magic underwear, a crystal, a cross, a crucifix, whatever I have to, people. I want the life to be on my side. So, as a catalyst, I am already in action. I have 42,000 plans already in my head of what to do. Yesterday alone, and if you're sitting around waiting for someone to come knock on your door and tell you what to do, please don't do that. As your mentor in catalytic behavior, is that even a word?
It is now.
I like it. I'm a catalytic person. I'm your catalytic mentor. Yesterday, I sat down and researched and reached out to almost 25 people to say, here's what I do. I'm giving back, love to do a free training. And I am hitting it, contacting. We're going to be doing that all day tomorrow. I'm going to be reaching out. I am throwing spaghetti up to the wall. Hopefully it sticks. As an optimizer, I slow down a bit. I put my spreadsheet together, and then I make sure we have the inventory of food, money, shelter, and a plan of action in the event. I keep saying that. Oh, hang on. Joan of Arc person, you guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
Here we go.
Welcome.
I'm already back. Look at how crazy is this? Can you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Look at our person put down there. What was Joan of Arc? What do you think? We look the same. Catalyst. Joan of Arc was a total catalyst, but she was also a relator. Why? Because she cared about a movement. Hers was all about a mission. Hers was about a vision, but her actions. Do you know, this movie came out in feels like early 90s. Could have been late 80s. Tells you how old I am. I had my first management job, and I put that on my desk because that's how I attack the world. See, look at this little corner picture. The little corner. That is Joan of Crazy Catalyst Arc right there. That's how I did life. Now I'm learning to slow down a little bit because I think it's better for us. Somebody told me that. Okay, now we know how the catalysts and optimizers are dealing. Tell me, relator or either one of you, share with the world what you are doing.
Go ahead, RJ.
Me? Sorry. Paying attention to things. So for me, I'm looking at the class end of my things and seeing what kind of, just as you said, what kind of free classes that I can offer right now. Because I know that a lot of people are behind their computers a lot more than usual. And so I am going live more often, talking about bots, and I've been working on a free class that I'm going to offer next week.
So think about this, RJ. You're creating. The first thing you did was created a new class. As an expert, they are innovative. They are creative. They are going to create a brand new product and I don't know what I'm offering. I'm throwing emails out there. Continue, please.
Yeah, that is what I'm doing. I am beefing up the class end of things because I know that if the economy does take a tank, people go straight to education. They always have. They always will. If there's, if massively bad things happen, if people lose their jobs, things like that, they're going to be going, okay, you know what? I probably didn't like that damn office job anyway. What else can I learn? Well, my industry has a bunch of room for people just like me writing bots out there. So, and I'm a good teacher. So I'm going to use my talents to make that happen for them if I can.
Excellent. What are you doing on the personal side?
On the personal side, I am spending some time in the basement painting. I got a 3D printer, and now I'm painting these 3D objects to go with our gaming. Because
nerd alert!
Oh, nerd alert! Oh, like these people need a nerd alert. Listen, I got a little red alert right there. That is my nerd alert. So. The nerd alert is going on because, listen, this is so funny, you guys. We decided this week, because of the social distancing thing, okay, you said a minute ago, listen, worse than the virus would be economy taking a huge hit. Also, worse than that, everybody's mental health taking a huge hit because nobody's spending time with each other. Holy moly. Like, I don't spend a whole lot of time with people, but if you're gonna cut off my 2-3 D&D games a week, now I'm just mad, and I don't even know why. So like some of the tips and stuff that are coming out are like, maybe they're physically healthy, but they ain't mentally healthy. And so my D&D groups, we all kind of hang out in the same circles or
Tell
whatever.
everyone what D&D groups are, because I swear I didn't know.
It's Dungeons and Dragons, everyone. Hello, everybody. You've been inducted. So we game together 2-3 nights a week, and we all decided that since we're a small group, since most of us work from home right now anyway, we're gonna keep meeting. We're gonna keep meeting just for sanity reasons, and so that we can have some social contact, so that the world doesn't constantly look like a post-apocalyptic movie scene, right? We can't. That's a thing that most people have never seen. That's what people are reacting to. That's what's making them scared. And we've got, so we're taking all measures to take care of our families and our friends. And I wish you two lived closer. That's what I have to say about that.
So we've got inventing new things to be able to launch, and making sure the Nerd Alert connection stays alive, and truly bringing everyone together. So there's her relator. All right, Miss Denise.
So it might be more of a relator trait. Things get complicated and we tend to start trying to just run away and not deal with it. I think probably business and personal wise, my relator is just trying to support and care and give where I can. My expert.
Well, I can share your expert because it's so easy, because I'm experiencing constantly. When she gets a news feed, so experts, this is how it might look for you. When you get a news feed, you know better than anyone how this should be solved. So as the news feeds come in and what the plan of action is, Denise is saying, no. This is what it should look like. This is what we should be doing. So Denise goes into understanding what is the best and how to do it better than anyone on the planet. Now, I'm not arguing with that. Most of us know how to do it better. And I'm telling you, we're watching the UK. The UK says, hey, everybody get it, keep the economy strong, and let's bounce back. Now, again, I'm not politically minded, but I am solution minded. People, let's just get the bug, get it over with, and keep this economy strong. And so that is Denise's expert status. That's what she tends to do, is she'll go in and she'll go, no, this is how it should be done. Like that is why Denise is very, she's well informed, but at the same time, coming up with greater solutions. Now, what happens when we all think, what happens when we all think a greater solution? Well, then that goes out into the magnetic field that we talked about the last few days, and it starts to generate a solution. Because here, truly, and somebody's asking if this is related to Myers-Briggs, it's similar to everything. You can go in and go, hey, doesn't this look like passion test? Doesn't this look like, I don't know, some of the other tests? But basically, it's crammed to the science of Jane, and it analyzes from my perspective what my buyers look like. So what ends up happening, let me give you, here's the downside. We know we've got RJ is the ER. We've got Denise, who is also ER. You both are ERs, expert relators. That's very interesting. I'm a co. I'm a core.
Yeah.
I'm still a core.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, let me tell you what happens. So the COVID goes cuckoo and everybody's like, wow, like running around like their hair is on fire. As a catalyst, if I see someone turtling and they're like putting their head in the sand or pulling their, they're like, oh no. I'm like, no. Get out of there, get moving, get results, go do something. Don't sit in the corner. as a catalyst, I'm wondering why people are not fighting against and moving differently in action. So that's part of it. And what we expect from others is, why are they just sitting there as a catalyst? Why are you not moving? Why are you not moving? Now, the RJ and the Denises of the world who are high relators. Now, I'm a high relator as well. But they're the ones wondering, why can't we all get along? Why can't we come together as a community? Why is this a segregation and not a coming together? So the caring part, now let's say I don't have a caring bone in my body, which is not true. We know that is not true. But let's say I'm all catalysts and I'm just about running the solutions and acting. And I run into relators. They're going to want me to act the way they do, and I'm going to want them to act the way they do. So communication is key. What you say to each other is primary. It is so absolutely necessary. Now I'm going to show you. I'm looking. Why are you not moving? I thought she meant me. I'm like, you know what it takes me to sit still doing these podcasts thingies? People. Aren't you moving, sister? All right, so it is how do we communicate to each other? And I'm going to tell you the number one thing I learned is to reflect back what you are hearing. So when I'm saying, Denise, why are we not getting results? Why are we not moving? Why are we not taking action? And Denise says, because not everybody is on board. We've got to create this. We've got to invent it. We've got to make sure that we have all the bells and whistles. We got to marinate, create, innovate, and do all these other things. And I'm saying, no, just get it done. What I need to say is, so what I hear you saying, Denise, is you are feeling the necessity to have all the ducks in order. Let's find a compromise. Let's find a way that I can be in action at the same time you're inventing behind the scenes. It depends on how we are approaching things. Now, the greatest way to connect and communicate with experts, write this down, people, because you know them. They're the know-it-alls. They're the ones you hear this a lot. You give an idea, and the expert says, no, it's not like that. I'm telling you, the minute I am sitting with someone and they go, no, I'm like, I'm sitting in front of an expert. And I love my experts. Obviously, look at my best people on the planet. But you people drive me crazy.
Yep.
Here's the best way to communicate. You may have a boss, you may have a partner, you may have a coworker, you may have a kid. Denise's entire offspring pool, they're experts. RJ, just feel for me for a moment.
I'll try.
We're at dinner. We've got Denise, expert, love ya. We've got Alexa, expert, love her. James, expert, I love him. Daryl, I adopted this random kid 16 years ago out of the ghetto, underserved area. We're all underserved at this point. And that son of a gun is an expert. I sit there listening. So here's the best way to communicate to experts. Use the words, what I know to be true. What I know to be true. The minute you say, what I know to be true, they're listening because it's truth and what you know. They value intellect.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're communicating with an expert, it's all about what do you think. When you're talking to a relator, well, how do you feel about that? Now, the schizophrenia of the expert relator is they have a hard time getting into their heart from their head because the head is the primary functioning, component in their system. So when you're communicating with an expert, what I know to be true based on my 30-some years of experience is this. You're brilliant at this. I'm brilliant at that. Now, when they're kids, okay, I got all three of them sitting at that table. You know what I say to them? What do I say to them? Do you remember, Denise, what do I always say?
I think you use the "I'm older than all of you" line.
Age will always supersede children's expertness. So just use that one if they don't shut up. That's what I do. So, all right, what else? So communicating during this time is not about discounting and saying, no, let's just get into action. It's about validating. So what I hear is that you're concerned about the neighbors and what they have in their pantries or whatever. I don't even know what it is. So reflect what you hear, voice I, stay in that I. People, this is going back to therapy days. Therapy 101 says use the I statement. It's almost like the movie The Heat. I feel you turning your shirt inside out does not make it a new shirt. Remember that sitting at the table? Sandra Bullock. I was just watching that last night. Hey, Jen, how are you? Sorry, sweetie, you ended up without your little surgery due, huh? It'll happen. So, all right, what else can we tell them about the core coding system? What questions do we have? What everything do we have going on? Give me some ideas, people.
Yeah. See if we have questions from people.
RJ,
Yes.
give us some thoughts.
Well, thoughts. Well, my thoughts are, one of the things that I stopped doing pretty early, around 2016 actually, was I stopped watching the news. The more that I feed the fear monster, the hungrier it gets. That's a problem. And it absolutely, I get scared into inaction. When I get scared into inaction, it's over. It's over because now I'm just alone listening to all the thoughts in my head. And I call it my little Rolodex. Now, for everyone under 30 years of age, we're going back. We're going back in time. And it was this little thing that sat on your desk, and it had these little cards in it, and it was everybody's business card. And so it was all alphabetized. So you would roll, that's why they called it a Rolodex, to the appropriate person, and you'd be able to call. It was very convenient at that time. Anyway, I call it my little Rolodex of fear because what my brain does is this. It hits the Rolodex, it spins, and then I take out a card and I go, oh my God, this is going to be terrible. I better not worry about that, though, because I'm not supposed to worry about things. So I'll put it back, and then I'll spin the damn thing again. And I'll keep going and pulling out different visions of post-apocalyptic hell that I'm supposed to be living in now, when none of it is really happening. So I'm on a news diet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because a lot of that stuff, unfortunately, is... news people want to be important too.
They have very cool music though, RJ. They haven't been able to use that music in a while.
I know, right?
That music.
There it is.
I love my music. Anyway, I have cool music too. But news people want to feel important, and they want to be important in your lives. So they're gonna, we're hosting a special blah. What this means for your kids at 5. I've already figured out what it means for me in my life. Thank you. If I need to go hide in my basement, my wife will tell me. Also, all my art stuff is down there, so I could spend a week down there and not care. So I went on a news diet, a Facebook diet, lots of things, so that I'm making decisions based on what I know to be true, rather than based on somebody else's rumor hyped up by somebody else's fear, and then a whole bunch of people going, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
When they say that, what I know is when they say that it's a mechanism to help them. Mm-hmm. When people say that, though, and I follow along with it, that is a mechanism that will just kill me in my tracks. So I do stuff that's just a little bit different. Not everybody needs to go that way, but if you find yourself panicking, if you find yourself your heart palpitating, in front of the news or Facebook, which is not the news, then you know what? Go on a diet. Go on a diet. Take this time. Make a few decisions. Get into action.
Totally. You know what? As you were saying that, I don't know why this vision came to my mind. And then Denise, I would love to hear your perspective. But what came to my mind was it's like childbirth. Now, I've never had a child because it just baffles me how 8 pounds, I don't care if it is 6 pounds of a human being with a melon can come out that. I just felt like that is, it is not supposed to happen to me anyway. So my thinking was, this is almost like childbirth, right? I saw it in science class. I have seen it on TV. I've heard enough stories to not allow me to have that happen down there. So we're right now we're waiting for the centimeters to like expand so we can pop this kid out. We are right now in the labor pains of a new birth, because quite frankly, the world will never be the same. We will never be the same after this. We will either be gun shy, we will either fail, we will freak out. It, no matter what, we will never be the same. And I'm telling you, we're never the same. I'm guessing, because I don't know, but we're never the same after 8 pounds comes out. You can't be the same. Like, you just can't. So this is such a great analogy. People, you know, I'm so addicted to analogies. So here's the deal. You have to do Kegels to strengthen the muscles again so that you can go back out and do what you need to do. This has gone south very quickly, people.
Can we mute her?
I can.
No, because people want to hear the end of this story. So we right now, once we get through this, you will not recognize yourself, because there's a few ways you can go. You can turtle. You can put your head in the sand. You can avoid the reality that you've got to keep moving. As RJ said, you've got to stay in action, not in action, but in ... action. You got to be moving. You've got to be doing something, because what you do right now will show up in 3 months, maybe 2. Maybe sooner. If you're a brilliant creator, it'll show up sooner. But truth be told, when I managed sales teams, they'd come in, one would come in, oh gosh, I don't have any sales. This is all, I'm just down to nothing. And I'd say, hey, pull up your calendar. And they'd go and they look at their calendar. I go, what did you do 3 months ago? What'd you do 3 months ago? And they're like, oh, I was sick. I was on vacation. My wife was having this problem. My kid was doing this. Whatever it was, there was a lull in their performance. 3 months later, they had no sales. Right now is the time you pedal faster. You pedal faster than you did before, because when this thing is through and you birth a new you, it is an opportunity for you to do things very differently. There is an opportunity for you to heal differently. And quite frankly, last night when Denise showed me the picture of Doomsday Mad Max grocery store, I'm telling you, I stopped and I felt the fear come up. I felt that fear and I went, people, my business is based on events. My business, if anything, this is a way for life to force me online, even more than I already am. How do you get online, get the same results, and how do you keep things generating and moving? We are all in for a rude awakening. If you are sitting, waiting for the world to shift for you, you got to shift the world and shift your world inside, and then the outside world will conspire to do everything you choose for it to do. Denise, we did not give you a chance to share your perspective on birth. I'm kidding.
Well, fortunately for me, I went C-section the whole way, so I didn't have to deal with that. But So for me with all of this, because, and I can admit, I'm a news junkie to an extent. There are certain things I don't pay attention to, or if I do, it's really, truly though, for me, just information. Like it doesn't, I've had to realize that the things that I share with Jane, like can sometimes trigger her and start getting a fear going in her. For me, it's strictly information that goes in, I process and go, okay, does this match what I believe? Does this match my opinion? Does this match my perspective? No, dismissed, just information. If it does, oh, that's interesting. Okay. But again, it's information. I take it, I do my own little process with it, and most often it's very temporary for me, and then it's gone. I'm like, that was interesting, and it's gone. So it doesn't trigger anything in me. I don't buy into everything's going to go to hell in a handbasket. I just don't. I see what's going on, and I get it, but I don't buy that it's going to be that way. And maybe that's just wishful thinking. I don't know, but that's just my perspective. And so I move forward with that. And it's based on, my life of knowledge. It's based on experiences I've had as a parent, as an individual. I mean, it's just based on all these things. So for me, it's very interesting to see how Jane reacts, to hear how RJ reacts. And I honestly am like, I'm very grateful that I don't take it to that extent. It really, truly is just information for me.
Do you ever hang out with someone like that, you guys, who has rose-colored glasses on, and you're like, take those off. You're like, come on, you gotta see reality. I'm telling you, my entire life was based on reality. It was all about, no, you gotta face reality. Well, what is reality? Reality is what we created. Reality is what we decide in our perception. And Denise, I'd be like, do you have a second pair of rose-colored glasses? Because to see the world from her perspective sometimes is quite frankly annoying. I try, and I'm like, oh, come on. Like, she is very much, everything works out. What's funny for me is I'm like taking a cat for a drag, like taking a cat for a walk. I'm like, everything always works out for me, but it seems I have to be dragged through my crap in order to get to the other side. Now, let me point out the difference here between Catalyst, Optimizer, and experts. Now, I'm just talking about your expert, you two. They're very much thinkers. Catalysts, feelers. The catalysts are feelers. We tough through it. We run right over it, and we allow ourselves just to tough it up. But we have a very good intuitive perspective and very much gut feeling. So when life interacts, somebody just came on that everybody had just lit up their face. It must be. So what ends up happening is I am all about feeling. That's also my human design. My human design is I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm very emotionally based. Things charge me up, they charge me down, they create different perspectives than what a Denise or an RJ will experience. So it's very interesting. The difference in your coding is how do you react or respond. Now, we're doing the book study, Becoming Supernatural, which is helping. And here's the thing. Most people, I'm just gonna give you and I, Denise, I'm gonna give us I'm just gonna pat us on the back for a minute, okay? Because this is me bragging. I'm gonna brag because people have worked on myself since 1985, maybe 84. Honestly, I put my fist through a window in my dorm. I was in a domestic violence relationship. I did not remember my past. My mother had died. I had every emotion, I'm not kidding, known to mankind. My first emotion that I grabbed was anger. It was the easiest one. put my fist through a window and glass went down. Thank God no one was out because it could have hurt someone. And right away I went, you know what? I'm a mess. I need to figure myself out. So I've been working on myself emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, on every level. But within the last year, we have truly made a commitment to change the programs that run our life. And I look in the rearview mirror and I look at, I've done the same response, the same problem solving based on past experiences. Many times we are looking in that little rear view mirror. I used to call it a river view mirror, and I couldn't figure out why. There was no river in the mirror. Like, doesn't it make sense? There should have been a river.
Totally.
Nonetheless, we are looking out of that tiny mirror. We have a windshield that is quite, frankly, many times bigger than the rearview mirror, but our subconscious mind runs 97% of our life. Our vision, the opportunity to look out the windshield, is so much greater, but the programs that run us are keeping us looking back. And automatically, if we're not thinking, consciously aware of our decisions, they are automatically being processed. So just to braggalicious about, Denise and I were doing that book study, and we are so committed. If anybody wants to hang out and talk about that stuff, oh, and Misty is on here. Missy is on here, and she is part of that book study. And we have another friend, Leticia, that's doing it with us. And we're so committed, and quite frankly, it's not easy. So as we're going through this process of COVID, it is going to challenge you at every level. It's going to challenge you at every single level, emotionally, physically, financially. Relationships are going to adjust, but unless you stay ahead of it by creating a vision, we talked about this yesterday, your intention, with your intention, a feeling, with a feeling, I like putting an image to my vision, and create. What is it I am going to feel when that intention has come to light? When am I going to commit to that? And I say it's today, because what they say, what did you say, RJ? They said it's going to get worse before it gets better. I think don't they manage their expectations that way?
Maybe.
Oh, I caught my mute button with that sneeze. Go.
Yeah, that may be what they're doing. I think that they're managing their own emotions by, I had a mom who used to do that. She would always do that kind of stuff, and for me, it just is not a motivator. It's not a motivator to get moving. It's a motivator to go, wait, it's going to be worse than I thought. I imagined every Armageddon situation. You mean there's another one that's worse? It's not good thinking for me. And I also wanted to add something to what you had said a little bit earlier with nobody is going to emerge from this situation the same person that went in. I agree. I double down and I say this, though. You may get positive changes. It doesn't mean that all that change that we're going through right now, maybe it's all positive. Maybe I'm going to come out stronger, resilient, and better able to take care of my business.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Totally agree with that. I believe, what do they say? I think it's Dispenza said, what if the worst thing that happened to you was actually the best thing that happened to you? And maybe this is the worst thing. And it's funny because you contemplate, this is not just happening in Phoenix or Omaha or the US. This is happening to our planet collectively. Our planet created this COVID debacle collectively. Now, are we a part of that creation? Well, we might be, because quite frankly, 4 years ago when a certain event happened, maybe a lot of us were saying, oh, great, this is the end of the world because now we've got this administration, we've got this court, we've got this happening. And maybe all of us put into the bucket of fear more and more fear. Well, this is what's going to happen. And I, quite frankly, the only way this has come to fruition is a collective consciousness or unconsciousness that has contributed to this result. But let me interject just one moment. This is how I'm dealing with it. Hold, please. I'm wearing, oh, can you see? Look at my superhero. There we go. You look at my yes. There. My superhero leggings. Keeps me confident, keeps me feeling better, and it makes me know that anything is possible wearing these pants or not. Oh, who wrote about magic panties? Magic underwear. I got magic pants on. I wear Batman, Superman, Spider-Man underwear. They're magic for me. When I have to go do something hard, like acupuncture or get pellets when they shoot you, I'm very sensitive. I am fragile. I wear my superhero panties. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program. Yes, dear.
Real quick, you mentioned that about could it be, the collective, going into and creating. What it reminds me of, and it was and I don't know if he's a doctor actually, it was Greg Braden, who actually, and you can Google this apparently, right after 9/11 happened, there was a change, if I remember accurately. There literally was a slight change in the magnetic field of the planet. And his point in sharing all of that was because we as individuals are energy. I mean, we know that. An entire planet was going, oh my God, and just feeling. And it actually tweaked the magnetic field of the planet a little bit. It was very, very interesting.
And they measure this stuff. This isn't like somebody saying, oh, well, I feel the energy. I see your aura. No, this can actually be measured. EEGs, EKGs, they're measuring heart. If you don't know about heart math, like 1 + 1, heart math is the measurement of energy, the field around your heart. They actually can only physically measure it up to 10 feet, but they suspect it goes exponentially. That's why people do, what do they call that? Virtual healings and distant healings. I'm going to read this quote. I'm a big fan of Helen Keller because for many years I ran my business and my life and everything I did like Helen Keller. Helen Keller pre-education. So Helen Keller learning water, like that is how I ran my business. I was my life more than anything. Helen Keller, I love this quote. Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet, only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved. People, she might as well have said, character cannot be developed in ease and quiet without the COVID scare. Like, honestly, this is what we're talking about. This is going through, do you know, and I love this story that we have here in Arizona. It's down in something that starts with an O. Where is the biosphere, Denise?
Oracle?
Oracle, very good. Yeah, it's the COD ranches there as well. That's right. So they have the biosphere. The biosphere is like its own little planet. They're studying and doing studies to create an environment within this giant dome. And it's just like you look in there and it's just like this giant jungly type dome. Well, in the biosphere, they attempted to plant palm trees and other trees, but palm trees were the significant experiment for them. They plant the trees, they could never live. Every time they plant those palm trees, they would all die. They started doing studies, and what they discovered was that in absence of the wind, the rain, the environment, the resistance, the palm tree could not survive. It had to have resistance. It had to have environmental circumstances that were adverse, that were pushing it, pulling it, blowing it in order for it to be strong enough. We have the same thing. There are circumstances in our life that are going to push us, pull us, knock us over. The only way we grow stronger and stay rooted in our life is to respond to things, not react from our past, but respond with desire, intention, problem solving, and action. That's where we are right now. We're in a place where we've got to develop, and this is a must. This is absolutely a must. So truly, what are some things that we can do? And you know, we've already heard RJ goes down to her D&D or 3D printer, her painting, hangs out with Bob Ross. Anybody watch Bob Ross, you will feel so good. Happy mistakes. The man doesn't screw up a painting. He has happy mistakes. He paints happy trees, doesn't he? I think I'm going to tell you my secret idea about Bob Ross. Every show, please, you guys watch this. Are we coming on tomorrow? It's Friday. We'll probably still show up tomorrow. Bob Ross, watch it tonight. YouTube it. You'll get addicted. Swear to you. I think he is subliminally a perv. I'm sorry. I love him, but his show, okay, not pervy, but it's very sexually undertony.
Oh, I think you might hear that if you wanted to hear that, Jane. But in all the hours I have been listening to this man, no sexual thoughts.
You got to see this. There is an emoji. People, be on my side. I'm going to show you. There is an emoji. Don't doubt me. I wish I could share it, but I can't. Bob Ross says on one of his emojis, this is what Bob says. Can you see it? Oh, hold on.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Just beat it like it owes you money. You can't tell me.
It's the paintbrush against the leg of the easel, RJ.
We can't tell. We can't tell, Bob. But I know what you're saying to me, brother. I get it.
Oh,
okay.
Lord.
So, I take hot baths.
Way too long.
I take hot baths. I go out mountain biking. I go hiking. Denise and I this morning, we should have taken pictures. Denise, we went up and we do the parking garage. It's 7 levels, but it's actually 14 sets of giant stairs. We go all the way up. You can see the entire valley. It's beautiful. We did it 7 times. We run up, we walk down, throw a lung off the side, and then we go up again, and we keep going. So
let's be accurate. You did 7. I think I did 3 or 4. I'm not sure.
I know, but I was just putting you in the mix. So people are like, good job, Denise. Except the last one, she kept up with me pretty well until level 4. And then I heard her say some 4-letter words that I will not repeat here. Okay. Work out. Get out in nature. Hug your dog. Love your cat. Do something nice within 6 feet of someone. Have fun with this. We were driving. We were going to do the parking garage, and a bunch of neighbors were hanging out talking, and I rolled down the window. I said, listen, neighbors, I don't like this gathering because it looks like there's too many people and you're not within 6 feet of each other. And everybody laughed, and we drove on our way. Have fun. Have fun. Don't take this so damn serious. Like, have fun with it. Hang out with positive people. If you get a naysayer, people, that will take you right down. I got on, somebody was on a call or something, and I got off and I was like, yeah, I might as well have been through the ringer. We're so vulnerable to negativity. Find positive people. Here's the final thing, because these guys can't stop talking. We've got to get off of this show. I can't stop them. People, do you ever just feel sorry for me? Anyone? No.
I see some nose up there.
That's my sound effects. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go out and learn. I want you to learn something new. Learn something new. However, it's hard to have fun when you're running out of money. Trust me, I get it. There is nothing fun around that Get creative. Get creative. For example, there is New York City. There are building owners that have restaurants and tenants. And the owner of the building is saying, pay your employees, don't pay your rent. Like, get creative. What can you do differently? I look at my son, Uber, the banquet industry, and he's a bouncer at a nightclub. All 3 jobs.
Gone.
That boy's done. But what did he do? He is out there. He found somebody who's moving. He's helping him move. He found somebody that needs some window washing. He's out doing that. He's doing everything he possibly can. What can you do? But make sure you're doing a simple math problem. And quite frankly, I've already got that system. I'm thinking, okay, let's see. We've got X amount of months with our reserve. Where would I go for money? If you have credit, get a 0% credit card right now. Borrow money when you don't need the money. I'm going to get a line of credit on one of our properties. Borrow money, and I'm not a financial advisor or financial planner. Put the disclaimer up, RJ. I am not one. She is not a financial advisor, nor does she play one on TV. What I am doing is we're going to borrow money. We're going to borrow money when we don't need money. Because if the world comes to a damn end, I'm going to have a line of credit that I can use to pay my bills to make sure I'm okay. So get money when you don't need it. And maybe right now you do need it. So go find that money. I get the fear. Please don't think I am discounting that, because quite frankly, people, each one of us sitting in front of you, our business has come to a screeching halt. It has come to a screeching halt. But what I know is I'm a scrapper. I will come out fighting every step of the way. I will come out after this. I will be racing to the front. So look at what can you do in this time. Learn. This is even more important. Learn what you teach. What I just say, that's so important, and I totally said it wrong. Oh, good thing everyone's paying attention, because I got confused looks. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to learn. Teach what you learn. That was my dyslexia. It mixed it up in my brain. Teach what you learn. Teach what you learn. Grow and serve. That's it. That's what we should have been doing prior to this. And we should have been freaking washing our hands, everyone. Like, is that a new concept? No. Wash your hands. Don't stop hugging. Don't stop hugging. You will become a Romanian baby. And I can say that because I had a friend who was one of the Romanian babies that grew up in the orphanage and didn't get hugs and didn't get loving and didn't get comfort. And I'm telling you, never stop hugging. Never stop hugging. Who cares if we get this little bug? Who cares? I mean, quite frankly, I'll probably get it because I keep saying, who cares? Who cares? But truth be told, let's embrace the change. Learn, teach, grow, serve. That's it. Take care of you first. Fill yourself with love. Fill yourself with everything you need so you can go out and you can give back, that you can give. And once the suppression is lifted, you got to be moving. You got to be shaken. And I'm going to tell you, this is a plug for our business. When the suppression lifts, if you need to grow a business, you need to know how to sell like a freaking mad person. And that's what I do. We will teach you how to sell. We're going to do a free training. We're going to put one on. I don't care if it's virtual or live. Get your butts into our sales training. I'll teach you how to sell like nobody else out there. I'll teach you messaging on the 25th. Oh, I forgot about that. On the 25th, we are doing a live training. It's going to be speaking and sales training. We're not spending a whole lot of time on the infomercial. I'm going to introduce it, and then I'm moving into how do you sell in 17.5 seconds and how do you overcome objections. We're going to teach everything you need to know so when this thing lifts, you hit the ground running. So spread the word, bring your friends, and what else? Everyone, anything else you have to say? Last words, RJ or Denise? Yes.
Thank you, RJ.
Oh, yeah. Last words, RJ. I would say also, God, check in with your friends. God, don't forget that there are other humans around here who
Yeah.
can support you and are willing to support you and listen, even if you're maybe not having a great day. Gosh, the way that we have related to each other in the past, with the advent of many social networks getting in the way of our actually being social with each other, which is another conversation that we will have another time. Uh, we forget to reach out. I reached out to Jane and said, this is what I'm thinking of doing. And she's like, go like gangbusters. Pop the top off it and just run. And to get that kind, Jane's my coach, so she gets to hear everything. But and there are other people that I've leaned on. Don't forget that there are people out here who are willing to support you and are willing to lend an ear and listen for a bit and give you some feedback on what's going on in your head. Everybody's telling you to isolate. Don't isolate so much that you can't get a hug. Don't isolate so much that you're not asking for support. Don't do it, because you'll go crazy. And crazy is worse than having the flu. That's what I have to say.
Nicely done. Denise, final words.
You know what? Just remember that fear begets more fear. And you go down a path and are fearful, you are going to start bringing on more and more fear for yourself, and you're going to get stuck in a loop. So do what you can to try and avoid that.
And find a lifeline. Find a lifeline. I'm telling you, this is the time that I believe that love will supersede everything. That caring, loving, it will supersede everything. Anger does nothing. And take it from me, I was and had been the angriest person on the planet growing up. And I'm telling you, the way I live now, in love, being love, and receiving and just being an example of love, is exactly what this planet needs. And I think this is a big old shot in the arm, a kick in the pants, a knock in the head. But we've got to embrace it. We've got to come out. But most importantly, I'm telling you, the economy for me has become one of my primary focus. That primary focus is how do we keep the economy afloat? May not be my personal economy, but how can I help those organizations out there? How can you help those organizations? What do you do in your world, your business, and your life to help those organizations? I'll give you an example, Naomi, and then we'll be done with this. Naomi, one of our clients, said, you know what? I'm a former nurse. I'm going to go see how I can help and do interventions and help keep the medical world in control. And she went out and landed, negotiated and created a position that is going to make a huge difference in the world. What can you do with your skills and your gift to make a difference in the world? All right. So tomorrow is Friday. We've got some things going on in the morning, but hopefully we'll catch up with everybody tomorrow afternoon. We'll post when we're going to be on. And I hope you're enjoying this. I hope this is bringing community. I know for me, it is serving my absolute need to teach, express, and uplift, or maybe piss somebody off. I don't think I said anything today that was off. The other day I might have. Today, I was on my best behavior. Why is everyone laughing? They always laugh at you guys. Hey, Melissa, look. Oh, I'm always the wrong side on this thing. There, I just had to put my little mug. It was turned a little bit to the side. So I just wanted to show that. All right, kids. I think we're done. I feel complete. This has been, should we just wait till 1 hour? 1 hour and 30 minutes. So let's just all right now just give each other a big smile, a big virtual hug. That is a long hug for a minute. Hold. Now it will be very awkwardly. It's a minute. It's longer than a minute. All right. We're going to cut off before 1 hour and 30 because people will say, 1 hour and 30, that is just too long of a show. You know what I say to them? Can you hear that?
Yeah, I heard the booze.
I gave that, and now for the last 30 seconds,
You are just trying so hard to stretch this out.
Oh, I could stress this out. We'll go over 130 if you're challenging me. There we go. That is the catalyst. The catalyst in me will say, I will show you exactly how to do it. All right, people, get out in the world. Care, love, and look it. You wore your Canada t-shirt. I wore my Canada hat yesterday.
I know.
And our Canadian friends did not have fun. And if Corey is watching this later on, we are dressing for you, Corey, and you suck because you did not get on, nor does Jay. Well, we block Jay. Jay Facette, we always block him. So, all right, 1 minute, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 2 seconds. Peace, love, and survive the COVID. Talk to you soon, everyone.